Hi guys, it's Heather from Kell Plan, and today we are going to be circling back to our student planner. We released this planner a couple of weeks ago, and today I just want to circle back to it because I feel like now that it's summer, parents might be thinking more about next school year and things that they want to do to help their child be successful. If you have a child in school, I highly suggest them using a planner. I feel like a planner works really well for students. I would say third grade is probably the first year that they're really able to use it in a functional way. And I would say middle school is when they definitely need to have one. So if you have a middle school student who doesn't have a planner, please get them one. Even if it's not ours, please get them a planner. I was a middle school teacher for 4 years, and it is desperately needed for your child to learn planning skills. Whether they're a boy or a girl, they all need it. And it is so important. And I think our planner is a really good one for middle school students and high school students and even college students. But I highly suggest one if you are a mom of a middle schooler or older to get your kid used to using a planner, because there's just so many reasons why, especially at the middle school age, they should be using a planner. So we're going to talk about some of the reasons that a student should be using a planner while I plan. So I'm going to be using our student planner and our student plans sticker book to set up, an August page in this planner. And while I'm doing it, we're just going to talk about why it's important to plan. I do want to point out that in the back of these is this sticker page where you can get monthly stickers to date your planner, because it's technically an undated planner. The reason we did undated is so that you could use it any year. Like, it doesn't have to be this year. These could even work for next year. I'm looking up August 1st this year is a Friday. So I'm going to actually probably date this off camera really fast just because it's kind of boring to watch me date a monthly planner. But then I'll come back and start decorating. And while I'm decorating, we're going to talk about why your student needs a planner. Okay, so I just finished dating it, and then I'm just going to take this and put it back in the back of the planner so that it's here when I need to date another monthly view. Okay, so then in the student planner, I'm going to go to our monthly stickers and I'm going to start decorating. But as we do it, we're also going to talk about why your middle school student and above really should be using a planner. It's so important. Like I said, I was a middle school teacher. I was a teacher for 10 years. And honestly, I taught 4th grade and up. And I think that all of those grades can benefit from a planner. And I taught specifically middle school for 4 of the 10 years. And first off, it just helps to build time management skills. Using a planner teaches kids how to prioritize tasks and manage their time. Kids don't know how to do that just out of the gate. And it really helps them to learn how to do it at a young age. Like, it's a skill they're going to use for the rest of their life. One thing I love to teach kids is color coding. I think that color coding is a really easy way to help kids figure out how planning should work. So like maybe we use blue for school related activities. I don't like that pen. I just wrote with it and I was going to pretend like it was fine, but it's not fine. I don't like it. Let's try this one. All right, so this is going to be school events. Okay, so maybe like this will be the first day of school. This might be like, we'll say this is like a rally, a pep rally. I was trying to think of the name. Anyway, it helps to build them time management skills that they're never gonna not use. Like, that's such an important skill. It helps to create really healthy habits early in life, because developing a consistent planning in middle school, or as young as you can start them, is something that they're going to use forever. So I just think the younger they learn these planning skills, the more likely they're going to use them when they're older. It's really hard for me, by the way, to talk about why they need a planner and decorate at the same time. I didn't think it would be, but I keep wanting to talk about both. So like I've assigned blue to school. We're going to say yellow is homework or tests. If they have like a big project or something, we're going to let yellow be homework and tests. So then maybe we come in here and we say like, okay, you've got a test on this day and you've got a test on this day. And then maybe you have a big project due on this day. Okay. And then orange can be extracurricular. So maybe, I guess I need to pretend I'm a middle school boy. Let's say I'm a middle school boy. And orange is extracurricular. So maybe we have, I feel like middle school football games are usually on Thursdays, at least in the district I used to teach in. So maybe we have our first game here. And maybe we have after school practice here and here. And then maybe we also have after school practice here and here. And maybe we have like before school starts, we have practice maybe every day this week. So I could draw, and then I could draw a line like this to show that we have practice every day. Okay, love it. And then we could say green, which by the way, these dot stickers, we got these at Go Wild. Zebra is releasing them later this year. They're perfection. So maybe green can just be like personal things. So then maybe we do like, maybe they have a friend's birthday party this day. And maybe they have a church thing this day. Okay, and so then we have filled this out. So now I'm just going to start filling in the planner, and I'll go back to talking about why middle schoolers need planners. The planning, if you are a planner, which I'm assuming if you're watching my planner, you're probably a planner. It reduces stress, right? We know that. And it can do that for middle schoolers too. Learning how to plan is a skill that is going to help them reduce stress. And middle school, it may be hard for us to remember as adults, but middle school is very stressful. And just learning to plan, writing down their assignments, their tests, their activities, it helps to prevent last minute surprises, and it helps to promote a peace of mind. And that is like essential to any middle schooler, because middle school is already like crazy enough. And one of the biggest things that it really helps with is teaching your kids early responsibility, because especially when they get to middle school, the teachers are not going to coddle them anymore. The teachers are not going to hold their hand through every little thing. They have to be responsible. They have to learn to take care of their business. And that is a really big change from elementary school, and it's a really hard thing for middle schoolers to transition to. So a planner helps to encourage that responsibility. It puts it on them to keep track of their own schedule. It helps them take ownership of their schoolwork. It helps them take ownership of their extracurricular commitments. And it helps them to just keep up with their lives and learning the responsibility, because up until middle school, really, your parents control your life for you. And of course, your parents are still in control, but you have just more say for yourself as a middle schooler. And a planner is really going to help them learn that responsibility. Sorry, it's really hard to write and talk about two different things. It's funny because usually when I'm planning, I'm talking about what I'm planning. I'm not talking about something else. So it's kind of blowing my mind how hard it is to do both. But I also want to show y'all how your student could, or if you're a student, how you might set up your monthly. I love, if you are new to planning, if you are a student new to planning, or maybe you're a mom who's wanting to learn how to teach your kid how to plan, I would start with color coding. I just think it's like the easiest way to track and to really get into planning. Another great thing about color coding is you can take these colors and you can use them throughout your planner. So I could come up here to where it says important dates. And I could take these same colors and I could make a key. Maybe we do it down here. And I could do the blue dot and I could say school. And then I could do the yellow dot. And this could be project/test. And then I could do the orange dot and let it be extracurricular. And then the green dot and let it be personal. And then I could use these dots the same way. So I could come over here and I could do a blue dot and I could say, okay, the first day of school is the 13th. And I could go through all of this and your student could add it even as, they don't have to do it all at once, but as they get important dates and they can color code them with the dots. And if you use the same, I would say 4 to 5 colors, your student can just put these in like their pen bag and keep them with them and just know these are my colors for the year. I'm going to use these same colors all year long. Color coding is such a great way to teach people, especially people who are brand new to planning, how to plan. So I think that using a planner for a middle schooler and especially color coding that planner really helps to improve organization. It keeps everything in one place, your assignments, your due dates, your goals. It helps them stay focused. It helps them stay organized, and it helps them to easily be able to look at something and know like what category of their life it belongs in. One thing I also love about planning for middle schoolers is the goal planning aspect, because middle school is a great time of year to plan goals. It's a great time of life to learn how to plan goals because they've probably never really done that before. And they can set really small goals. And again, you can still color code them. So maybe like their goal, an extracurricular goal, you could put it orange, could be make football team. And then they can write what their first step to that goal is, the second step, and when they achieve it. Maybe their, it could be get all A's. And then they can have their first and second goal, and then when they achieve it. And then maybe they have a personal goal of, I don't know, make 3 new friends. Maybe they're starting at a new middle school and they want to make some new friends. Action step 1, action step 2. I love that this planner has goal setting. It's really important to write down both their personal and their academic goals. So it doesn't have to be just academic, and then track it in here. And this is a good place to track your goals, but also we also have this section, which your student can track goals in. Then we also have reading goals right here. So their goals don't just have to be in one place in their planner. They can spread them out. But using a planner is going to help your student learn how to set goals and achieve goals. So then we have our assignment tracker here where they can track their assignments. And then we have their week. And so here, let's say that this is August. And let's say that we're just jumping in for the first week of school. So that would be the 11th through the 17th. Or you could just do the 11th through the 15th if you just want to do the weekdays. So I'm going to do 11th through the 15th. And then, so that's all you have to do to date your planner. And then the great thing again about color coding, especially if you get these dot highlighters, is your tasks and your projects and stuff, you can even color code them based on if it's a personal task, a school task, a football task, you could color code them. Okay, so A regular use of a planner is going to lead to academic success. And that's where this page is going to come in. So I'm going to go to some colorful boxes. And I'm just going to fill some of these up. So this is going to be the first day of school. So we're going to put this here. And then we're going to put this yellow one for tests and homework and anything like that we need to keep track of. And then we're going to put this one here for extracurricular. And then, so then you can set your weekly goal. They can write it with a pen or with a highlighter. So maybe your weekly goal is meet 3 new friends from my classes. This is a habit tracker. So maybe your habit tracker is run 30 minutes a day. Maybe your student's really into running, or maybe they're trying to make the football team, so they're going to run. And then they could come over here, and as they do the habit, just check it off with their dot sticker. Okay, so then we have, here I can come in and write first day of school. I don't want it to take up the whole box, because if we have anything, any homework or anything that's assigned, any paperwork that needs to be done, then I could write it here. As a student, you want your student to get in the habit of pulling out their planner at some point during every class, because it's going to help them to remember to write down anything important, whether it's homework or a test or important tasks that they need to do. So maybe they come over here and they say important task, parent signatures, paperwork, maybe for extracurricular, we need to submit screening, order jersey. I don't know. I'm just making up stuff that a middle school boy might write in his planner. So maybe over here we could say, maybe we take a yellow box, because you're not going to have tests the first week of school. We actually have some boxes that fit over here. So maybe I take this one and I put it here, and I can write no tests this week. And maybe I put a box up here just for the fun of it. And then projects and deadlines. So maybe here we say paperwork is due by Friday. So this is the 13th, 14th, 15th. So we could say 15th, paperwork due. Maybe next week we have read 3 chapters. Maybe on the 21st, read 5 chapters. And you could put the date here of when it's due in the circle, or you could just fast forward and write it. All right. Try to think of other reasons that your student needs a planner. It encourages reflection and growth, especially like in this personal section. It can encourage them to not just focus on their school stuff, but it can be a spot to reflect on their own mental health, their own self-awareness, what they're learning from different experiences that they're having. This could be a little journaling section, or it could be a section where they're writing their personal things that they're doing like outside of school. It's totally up to them on how they want to use it. So yeah, those are just a few reasons why I think it's really important that your student learns how to use a planner. Let's see, let's go to this week, and I want to show a week that's not the first week of school. So let's do the 18th through the 22nd, because I want to show you what it might look like on like a week where you actually have stuff. So here we're listing homework. Here we're listing important tasks. And then here we're listing tests. So maybe you come over here and you say Tuesday, history test. Wednesday, math test. Friday, reading test, and maybe a spelling test. So you come in here and you write your test, and you don't even like use stickers. You can use stickers, but you don't have to. And then over here, maybe you say the 28th, you have a book review due. The 29th, you have a science project. So this would be more things that are either due this week or like the next week. And then this would be their list of homework for each night that they need to complete that night. Or if they didn't want to use it for homework, another option, if they just wanted to use it to list daily things, is you could take one of these box stickers and cover up where it says homework and then use it for anything else. But the idea is that it would be for homework. So then maybe they come and maybe they put a checklist sticker because we love checklist stickers. So they could lay, oh no, this is for a monthly view. I'm sorry, wrong checklist. Wrong checklist. We got to go to these. So we lay this down and maybe practice spelling, finish your math problems, read chapter 6, write review. And maybe they should honestly be bringing this out at the end of every class and filling in what their homework is for that class. And then they could come over here. And they don't have to put the checklist. I just love checklists. And they could do the same thing where they just write their homework down. They could also color code based on subject if they wanted to. That way they then are color coding like the homework, the projects, the test. And so they could say like yellow is reading and green is math and blue is social studies and orange is science. And then they could color code based off that. It's not necessarily, but if you're really diving into the color coding, then that's another option. So then maybe over here, run 30 minutes a day. Your weekly goal could be read 1 chapter a day. Again, I love that this brings goal setting into focus because I think that's really important for students to learn. And then they just have all these other spots to plan out other stuff. So then maybe they're personal. Maybe they just want to put a box right here instead of filling out the lines. And then this is kind of like they could write something here or they could just use it as like a spot to decorate. So they could just stick a sticker there every week if they wanted to. Extracurricular, maybe they have some practices. So they could say football practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Football game Thursday, wear jersey Thursday. That used to be a thing where they got to wear their jersey on the day that they played. I don't know if people still do that, but they could write in their extracurricular notes here, homework here, tests, and then just important tasks. So yeah, that's pretty much how you use it. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but it's just so beneficial for your student to use a planner. So if you are a mom of a student, I highly suggest getting them a planner, teaching them how to plan, especially color coding is a great way for students to learn how to plan. There's so many benefits to students learning to plan early, and I hope that this planner helps to make that a thing for the student in your life. If you like this video, I hope you hit the like button. If you want to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button, and happy planning.